Maayong hapon, mga pinalangga na kong kaigsuunang Subuanon. Ni-decide ko nga mo live ko karon kay kaganina siguro nakadungog sad mo nako dito ta nga nag-launch sa vaccination program unsay nga adto sa DOH Chikiting
Ligtas.
Chikiting Ligtas dito sa Konsolasyon. Kung diin sa akong speech o sa nisunod nga press conference, akong gitubag ang mga gipamulong sa usa ka doktor nga kanhigikan sa IATF pero ambot nga nung nawa na to siya sa IATF wa naman gipadayon sa taga IATF karon di anapod siya kuno sa OCTA. Cause of concern kuno ang saka sa positive cases dire sa Cebu, particularly Cebu province. So nitubag ko ato nga ang ato manggod diri sa Cebu, we have to move on and move forward. Nga atong dawaton ang kamatuoran nga ang sakit na agyuda sama pananglit. Kaganina nag-vaccinate ta og para sa measles, para sa polio, para sa German measles. Unya dugay na ba kay ng measles? Naa pa man lagi gihapon. Kanang polio, in the year 2000, gideklarar na unta ta sa WHO nga eradicated na ang polio sa Pilipinas. Pero nag-outbreak man lagi gihapon. So, ang ato punto ni ini, dili man tingali nga mo aspire ta nga ma-zero COVID ta. Kaya wa man gyud ta ma-zero measles. For that matter, wa man ta ma-zero tuberculosis, which by DOH figures kills about 26 Filipinos for every 100,000. Karon mao na ilang figure statistics. Pero mo aspire ta unsaon pag-manage sa COVID. Ug mao na nga klaro na kayo atong protocols sa tibuok probinsya. I speak for the province. Ang ako lang unta hangyo, ipa-translate na lang ni atong mga Tagalog nga di kasabot kay di ko magtinagalog. Dili ninyo i-confuse ang province of Cebu sa city of Cebu. For that matter, Lapu-Lapu City ug Mandaue City. Because even if doon ang Mandaue votes for the province officials, but as far as DOH is concerned, Mandaue has a totally distinct rating pod. Gilahi na nila classify. So, ang province, nga kung maghimo sila kwintada, nag-refer na sa 44 ka lungsod ug 6 ka component cities. Ang City of Cebu is an independent chartered city. They have their own policies. And my own executive orders do not bear upon them. Walay bearing nila. Ang Lapu-Lapu City sad is a highly urbanized city. Ila sad to. So, musturya ko para ras probinsya. Nag-search man kuno. Nangayo lang ko figures. Akong gipa karon, ako ni ipuno. Akong gipa research pila na bagyod ang bag-o nga cases sukad January 1 hangtod January 28 this year. Whole Philippines. Ang na-increase nga positive sukad nag-testing atong January 1 hangtod January 28 total is 45,892. Ni anang 45,892 pila man ang na-contribute sa province kay cause of concern naman kaha, surge naman kaha. Ang Cebu province 767 positive. Sa limited data nga naka-access me, ako ning basahon ha. Ang Quezon City 1,971. Ang Davao City 2,618. Ang Baguio, 1,115. Ang Cebu City, 1,380. Para doon natay sense of proportion na atay context ba? Ato sa ikumparar kung pila man ang population sa Cebu Province. Kaning positive nga 767 in 28 days, 3,200,000 ang population. However, ang Baguio nga naay positive nga 1,115, ang population sa Baguio is 372,791. Mao magani nga kung ato nang kuhaon ang percentage, ang Cebu Province at 767 na positive comprises only 1.7% of the total 45,892. On the other hand, Baguio, which has a population of almost a little over 10% of the population of Cebu Province, kay 372,791. Asa man na, mga 12% as compared to Cebu Province nga 3,200,000. At 1,115 positives in 28 days, 2.4% na. Sa total nga 45,892. Ang Davao City, with a population of 1,825,450, kaya ang iyang positives is 2,618. That is equivalent to 5.7% of the 45,892. Cebu City, and please do not lump the province with Cebu City. Okay? Cebu City at 1,380 comprises 3% of the 45,892. But Cebu City's population is a little over 1 million. That is 3 times the population of Baguio City, which within 28 days naanay 1,115 ka-positives. So kanang musulti tag mga warns of surge, niingon na bitaw ko, kuha tag figures. Let's have some context here. Ang pinakauna, pinaka-simple kay mo may ingon-giingon, bantay mo after the holidays tungod sa mga gatherings, musaka yun na. Incidentally and coincidentally, nagsugod na sa rainy season. Pre-COVID times, mao sa ning gitawag na to flu season. Pero wa na magoy flu karon. Sipunon lang kagamay COVID naman. Ubhon lang kagamay COVID na. And heaven forbid, hilantan kagamay COVID na. Dili na flu. So, na-increase ni Saka. Pero, ipha. Pila man ang bag-o nga batch. Sugod atong January 1, kutob January 28. Because we have the numbers. It's 45,892. Pila man ana ang sa Cebu Province? 767. What is the percentage as compared to total of 45,892? It's only 1.7%. And think about it. The province has a population of 3,200,000. On the other hand, Baguio City, with a population of 372,000, has already pegged 1,115 positives. So in comparison, at 1,115. Baguio City's positives is 2.4% of the total country's positive cases from January 1 to January 28, which is, and I repeat, for your information, kay wa man tayo na ninyo gi-research, already 45,892 positives. Now, even Davao City, at 1,825,450, 2,618 ang positives. That comprises 5.7%. Quezon City, which is 3 million. O so, makaingon tag, pupareha ang population sa province. Kaya mao naman ilang gi-project nga moabot og 3 million ang population by 2020. Pila man ang positives Quezon City? 1,971. Gikan sa January 1 ngadto sa January 28. Pila man na in terms of percentage? 4.3%. So, that is almost double the 1.7% of Cebu province. Kung mao na ato ikumparar kay pupareha mi og population, ang 4.3% sa Quezon City certainly is a lot higher than the 1.7% of Cebu province. Ang 1,971 of Quezon City na positive certainly is so much higher than the 767 of Cebu province. Puparehag population. Although, sobra pa mi. Kay 3.2 man mi. Million. So, inyo na to, ana. Dili nga i-single out lang ninyo ang Cebu. And by the way, kay kanira bang nag-single out, di ra ba mo mga Cebuano, taga Manila man mo kasabot dire nga ang Cebu province lahi ang Cebu City, lahi ang kwintada ana ha, lahi ang kwintada sa Lapu-Lapu, lahi ang kwintada sa Mandaue. I can give you additional figures, ipadayon ako ang pagpatuon. But maybe you can do your own. Paghimo sad mo sa inyong kwintada. Kibaw mo nganong akong tun-an gyud. Tungod kay, I expect this. Mga naysayers or gusto nga magpaimportante na pod, magsigi tag focus og ihap. Pila na positive sa COVID. Mo ihap ra batas positive from the very first case nga nahitabo nga duna tay positive dire sa nasod. Mao na atong running total. Pero mangutana ko, nganong wa man ta nag-ihap from the very first case nga gi-TB hangtod karon? Wa man tay running total ana. Nganong wa man ta mag-ihap from our very first case nga gi-flu? That's a virus to, di ba? Ang flu. Since 1918 hangtod karon. Wa ta nag-ihap. Pila na may gi-flu? Nanay vaccine. Napay tambal. Pero wa ta nag-ihap. Wa ta nagsira sa ekonomiya. Pero kaning COVID, mao na lang gyud atong i-report permi. O headline na po ron. Itagaan na po ninyong importansya ni nga grupuha. This is the same group that had recommended months ago nga kita certain provinces ipa-classify na. If you'd recall, tanaw mo, review mo, ipa-classify na under low risk. And gitubag sila sa IATF, ayaw mo diha pag una-una. Research. Sila may ni-officer ani, nga ipa-low risk. Karon tingog na pud sila. Headline dayon. They are not IATF. I doubt if they even have specific figures or even analyzed data. But I'm doing this because 3.2 million Cebuanos depend on me. They have just started to pick up the pieces of their lives devastated by the restrictions brought about by this fear of COVID-19. We are just starting to revive a devastated economy. And so I study data, so that what I say is supported by facts and figures. So when you say, and you know who you are, that it is a cause of concern, this surge in Cebu, what surge are you talking about when you compare the number of positives that Cebu province has since January 1 to January 28 as compared to other cities and other places that have far less population and yet comprise much higher percentages than the 1.7% of Cebu province as compared to the total positive cases of 45,892. We are managing it. Thank you very much. Kasabot na atong mayors ug unsaon ni paghandle. We have enough isolation centers. Occupancy is pegged at 20%. Our hospital beds are ready. Occupancy is only 25%, 20 to 25%. And this kanang atong mga hospital beds nga giandam dili na kay mga severe kaayong COVID ha. I-appeal na nato ang influenza like illnesses, ang sari, appeal na. But it's only up to 20-25%. We are not overwhelmed. We're dealing with it. Thank you very much. So do not be concerned, because I am more concerned about how devastated our economy is, about how many Cebuanos are now suffering, have no jobs, have lost their businesses, have lost their livelihoods. I am more concerned about that. What is the actual picture of Cebu province? As of January 28, 2021, if you wish to get the running total, which we have been counting since 2019, it's 7,746. However, 6,797 have recovered. Of which 437 have died, but only 122 were purely COVID. 305 of these 437 had other illnesses, and in fact, some met accidents but still were classified as COVID. Motorcycle accident, heart attack, pero COVID. So we have segregated, analyzed each case, and have come up with a number. That's 122 ang pure COVID. 122 comprises, as compared to the total of 437, that's only 27.9%. In other words, 305 of the 437 died of other causes. Giswab lang niya positive, bisag namatay na, gi-heart attack, iswab positive. Of course, there's always, we know very well, the incentive sa PhilHealth. Kibaw man taan na. Kung COVID suspect, 160,000. COVID moderate, 400,000. COVID critical, 750,000. So it has been incentivized. It no longer matters what you really died of. Para di na ka dako bayranan sa ospital, i-COVID na lang, kay dako man kayong package. That's what's happening actually. Now, if you take away ang tanan namatay ug ang tanan nga naka-recover, right now, there are 512 active cases. Consider that in a population of 3,200,000. Dili among population 300,000, 3,200,000. Pero ang among active 512. Pila man ani gyud kay kibaw man ta, we go around nag-witch hunt ta baski way mga symptoms, gyud sige testing. Pila man ani ang Y symptoms sa 512. I have my figures and this is confirmed by all of our MHOs, municipal health officers, city health officers, all of our chiefs of hospitals in our 4 provincial hospitals and 12 district hospitals. Pila man ani Y symptoms sa 512? 191. 191 walay symptoms. Pila may mild symptomatic? 239. And by the way, for your information, they are all in isolation. Dili ningon kay naglakaw-lakaw nga nagpabaya ang atong mga mayor, they are isolated. Bisan pa ug wa kay symptoms, isolated na. Mo na nga kung laborer ka, ang imong kita ng adlaw, mo re ipalit og bugas para ipakaon mo sa imong pamilya, awa kay kita kay gi-isolate man ka. So kisa naman po'y magpakaon ang kapitan na pod, barangay kapitan. Magpakaon sa pamilya ba nga naghuwat in town. Ang mayor na pod, mao na, pero isolated kay mo man ni atong protocols. So, kaning 191 Y symptoms, they are in isolation. Kaning dunay mild symptoms, they are also isolated. 430 karon maoy in isolation. Pila may na hospital? 82. Ang among hospital bed nga gi-set aside para sa COVID is more than 400. 82 ang nasa ospital. Aning 82, 52 mild. Mura ng ili, mild. 26 ang moderate, 26. Ang severe, 4. So of the 512 active cases, which is 6.6% of the total since January, as of January, nga total natong 7,746. .9% ra ang severe or critical or severe. All the rest either mild, moderate, or worse, asymptomatic. Y symptoms. Mao na among figures. And I study this. Kung mo nang mubuhi kay kugpong, I know whereof I speak. Because figures cannot lie. So what is our strategy? Manila media have been calling me the whole time. Kay maura man na inyong madunggan ang Cebu. Gasig Cebu City to, wagay katultol ug hay Cebu City, hay Cebu Province. What is the strategy of the province? That's the question of most Manila media, even kaning mga networks. Our strategy, it's what we have always been repeating. Two-pronged. Boost the immune system and make use of science and technology. We boost our immune system by taking vitamins, which we are distributing to our frontliners and encouraging our LGUs to distribute as well. We encourage all to plant vegetables so they can have vegetables that's healthy eating. We ask them to drink calamansi juice, ug turmeric, ug duwaw. Nga pwede ra kakatanom. Nagsige tag distributron ug mga marketed and grafted calamansi seedlings. Every barangay now has a nursery to grow vegetables, herbs, medicinal herbs, calamansi, langka, and other fruit trees. Every local government unit now has a nursery also with vegetable seedlings, medicinal herbs, calamansi, and other fruits. And we are again launching the Sugbo program. What is Sugbo? Pangutanan na lang mo sa inyong mga kamaong Binisaya. Basta ka ng sugbusog, Sugboanong busog, luwas o himsog. Kamong mga Tagaw, ipa-translate lang sa inyong mga amigong Sugboan Bisaya. We already did this at the height of the ECQ, April last year. We conducted this. It was a very hugely successful program of incentivizing households and puroks of the barangays to plant vegetables. We have launched Sugbusog Part 2, and this now has expanded as a competition for all local government units, all barangays, all puroks, and all households in the entire province. I'm talking about the province of Cebu, composed of, I repeat, 44 towns, 6 component cities, and 3,200,000 Cebuanos. We are focusing on economic recovery. Pagbuhi ug balik sa ekonomiya. Kay mas daghang pang gigutom karon kaysa manaigo og COVID. Tingali hinuon, mas daghang pagmamatay sa gutom kaysa COVID. Huna-hunaa. Ang katugyo namatay sa COVID sa tibuok probinsya, 122. 122. Sa 3.2 milyones. Pero wa na may report og pila may namatay sa TB. Pila may namatay sa ubang sakit. Sige lang, tagaan taon niya mo. Kaya ako na nag-research po. Sukad pod. Kay mag-ihap man ta, kining atong giihap. Sukad manis labing unang nga kaso. Ako sa di paihap, sukad sa labing unang kaso sa tuberculosis. Sukad sa unang kaso sa hilanat, flu. Sukad sa unang kaso sa measles. Naman na, makita man na ninyo, pag-outbreak sa measles, from January 1 to February 28 alone, or February 23, 2019, 12,000 kapina, uyang namatay, 200. Pero wa man tay cumulative total good. Reset man tanan, ini adtog 2020, lain na pod ang kwenta. Pero ngano dili man ta mag-reset lagi sa COVID? Nganon di man ta magkwenta ron, nganong unsa may naa atong mabasa pirmi sa media? Cumulative total, pila na ang cumulative total sa Pilipinas? 400, 500, pila na? Mugawas man na headline pirmi. Philippines now, pila? 500,000 plus. Nganong dili man ta mag-ihap year by year, kay year by year man ang atong ihap sa uban mga sakit. Ug kung mao na atong sundon, for the year 2021, 45,892, dili 500,000. So we are focusing on economic recovery. And with that, we have reopened tourism in most of our towns. Kaluoy sa Diyos, because we have very, very strict protocols. We did not just do that in a most careless manner. You can review my Executive Order 20 and 20-A if you care to, because it's this thick. Kasi kapuyan lang mo. Kaya, you don't even look at figures, samot nakagbasa. But you can review it, and that's being strictly implemented by our resorts, our restaurants, and all other establishments. That is why people feel safe when they go to the province. We have reopened tourism. Hinay-hinay ni balik in town ang panginabuhian sa kadaghanan. Nangabli og balik ang atong mga resorts. Ang mga negosyong nasira ni abli na sad. And not only that, in order to help our micro entrepreneurs, we have launched the Sugbo Negosyo Program that is now helping 8,500 micro entrepreneurs throughout the entire province. We have released 100 million worth of coupons which they can redeem from our partner merchant stores. And they can restart their business or start a small business. That's happening now because we put our money where our mouth is. And I will be their champion sa mga kabus, sa mga naglisod, sa mga nagantos tungod sa atong giagian nga mga paghigpit nining COVID-19. I will be their champion and I will stand up for them. When I say that this no longer makes sense, when we continue to foment panic because of COVID-19, I say so because I have my figures. I study the figures that cannot lie. That is why I have decided to focus on the economy. Dili nata magsigig ihap. Because kung mao naman lang na, then I challenge everyone, including media, including DOH, give us totals also for all other diseases. We couldn't have done the launching of this Chikiting Ligtas at a more opportune time. Eksakto gyud. Kaya unsa may atong gi-launch ganina nga vaccination against measles, against rubella or German measles, and against polio. Suddenly reminding everyone nationwide, napa man di ay uban sakit, di man lang di ay COVID. Well then, naaman di ay uban sakit. Kuha ako nun ninyong totals. Sukat sa pagsugod. And while we're at it, i-appeal ang TB, which is still the recognized one of the top killer diseases in the Philippines. I-appeal ang TB. I-appeal ang dengue. Well, kailan man ta kisay nagtingog-tingog anang sa nga na nila, opta. Sa nang doktora na, mobitaw na. Ninumdo mo, doon na hesitance, reluctance ang mga tao against vaccination tungod atong dengue ha? From a high of over 80% ang public acceptance of vaccines because of the dengue controversy. That acceptance plummeted to just a little over 21%. And who started that dengue controversy? Questioning the national government's program of dengue vaccination. Do your research. I know who, because I faced the same person who is now talking about concern for the surge in the province. Sila, ug ang ilang grupo may niunang question and made it so controversial and so politically charged that the whole program was practically scrapped. You know who you are and you know what you did. Kung sa may net result ato, ang publiko wa na mosalig sa vaccines. So now, kinahanglan na punta mo kumbinser sa kadaghanan. Mo bitang dito ko ganina to give my full support sa Chikiting Ligtas, the National Vaccination Program. Because I know how difficult it is for the DOH to regain that public acceptability for vaccines. Kaya kana nga public acceptance, giguba na sa Dengvaxia controversy, and that Dengvaxia controversy was started by, well, at least he was one of those that started it. So now, I am giving this live video feed in order to answer all questions, be it Manila media or Cebu media, para labaw sa tanan alang sa pagpasalig sa atong mga kaigsuunang Subuanon nga ako mo barog alang kaninyo. Barugan ko ang inyong mga panginabuhi. Barugan ko ang paglambo ug balik nining atong probinsya. Questions?
Prof, on the figures you presented, you just clarified that you described Cebu as being singled out by this research group.
Tama na. Panahon ninyo. Mo may headline sa kuan. Prima na pod. Do you read? Do you still read print media? Ikaw, headline sa Sunstar o sa Freeman. Private research group. Rise in COVID cases a serious concern. Research team, red flag Cebu. Basaha sa, huwamon ta ka. So it's Cebu, ilang gikuan. Ngano man usana nila ipapila man gyud di ay ang bag-o nga positives in a span of 28 days. Unya, bisan pa ingon ko ninyo, ta, lagi ang tud karon kaning Manila media magsige gyapon. Po tanungin po namin kasi tumaas na yung kuan niyo sa Cebu City. Kapila na ko nagsigiingon tawag lagi ang Cebu City nga authority, ang mayor. Kay di lagi na under na mo. Pero sige na lang. Ako ning i-add ha. Appeal na to Cebu Province 1.7, Cebu City 3%. Lapu-Lapu ug Mandaue 0.4 ug 0.7, so that's 1.1%. Ang total ana is 4.7%. Okay? Plus 4.7 plus 1.1 mga 5.2. Ha? Kung Cebu gitibok Cebu kay gitotal nila 5.2% of the 45,000. Pero kung i-appeal na natong Cebu City, appeal na nato ang Mandaue, i-appeal na nato ang Lapu-Lapu, 5.2 million na sadta. That's a conservative estimate. We could be 5.5 by now. Pero mo ko 5.2 million na sadta. Okay? And we comprise only 5.2%. Totalo na to. However, Quezon City, which is only 3 million, 4.3% na. Davao City is 5.7%, which is a population of 1.8. Ang Benguet is 2.4%, 300 ra. 372,000 ra ilang population. Anaon na tog analyze. Nganong gi-single out man ang Cebu? Cebu Province ra ba? Ang uban nga mga text sa mga networks, Cebu Province. Hasa man ani? Ngano man dining 1.7? Mo ni makabalaka? Ikumparar aning uban nga tag-as kaayo nya gamay ra population? Ngano man kay paborito man niyang Cebu. Remember mo bitaw ning tawhana ang nag-una-una o pang-warning bahin sa Cebu City, and because of that I don't know murag wa na siya sa IATF, pero sige may lang kay ni siya magsige pa interview. Mo siguro nga mo react ka ng media, kay doon na siya statement, I don't know. Kay ay siguro mo research pa anak niya. I-single out. But figures do not lie.
You said kanina during sa imong pag-attend sa konsolasyon nga regarding sa COVID-19 vaccine, if COVID-19 vaccine arrives, Cebu being one of the three target areas, the national government and DOH can count Cebu province in supporting the vaccination program. If masugda na gov ang vaccination program, nabay unsay mga changes kana especially sa movement sa mga tao sa Cebu province?
Nganong mausab man ang movements mga tao unless na ay side effect kanya mukirig na sila. Basin mausab na murag zombies na mag-ana buti magpasabot. No, we are going to support that. Okay? In the same way that I have committed my support for the Ligtas Chikiting program, which is the national vaccination program against measles, rubella, German measles. It's actually German measles man na. 3 days ra na nga grabe kay makaigo. And polio. We will also be working very, very closely with the Department of Health in rolling out the vaccination program against COVID-19 for the province of Cebu. We will give them all necessary support. Pero kung bahin na nag-logistics, they're already doing, they are already preparing too. Remember, in the 2021 budget, 70 billion pesos has been set aside for the purchase of vaccines. An additional 12.5 billion pesos has been set aside for the logistics. And that means the entire chain of seeing to it that the vaccines arrive and are vaccinated to those that agree to be vaccinated accordingly in a smooth and efficient manner. Change in movement. I just want to emphasize yung tanan naman mo anin, itubag na ko, dili ni lumba, di ko mo apil usaan ng tripartite, nga palit yun ang province. Okay. Kani man good, kaning vaccines, wa pa na FDA approval, di ba? The most or the best that the FDA can do is to issue an emergency utilization authorization. What does that mean? That the national government will take the risk in applying these vaccines. Kung na may mga side effects or whatever, national government will take the risk. However, once ma-tripartite na, mo appeal ka as an LGU, nga ikaw makig-deal ka directly sa supplier, then you assume the risk. And I don't think that the province of Cebu is ready to do that. In the first place, this is not an emergency. Kinahanglan ta mo go beyond the national vaccination program. In the second place, there's enough funds already allocated by the national government. And the national government is taking the risk. Nganong ang kunon magyud nato nga di man nilumba. Anong makiglumba man ta?
For the record lang, going back to the research ko, would you say that the research is out to put Cebu in a bad light?
Probably not the entire research one, but one person there is prominently mentioned. He was this person who, prior to that, was able to connect himself with IATF, but after coming from Cebu and giving his own statements without IATF clearance, apparently, he was removed from the IATF.
Would this report, such as or research such as this, would this hamper our resolve to continue with opening our economy or moving forward?
You didn't hear me? And you didn't see my face? That is why I'm giving this live interview. That is why I gave that speech kaganina. Is why I have stated very clearly in that press conference. as far as the province of Cebu is concerned, we are moving on and we are moving forward. We accept the fact that this is not a perfect world and that there will always be diseases. It couldn't have been underlined in a much better way than kaganina nga nag-vaccinate ta for 3 diseases that, for example, polio had already been eradicated, declared eradicated gani unta way back 2000 from the Philippines, according to WHO. And yet in 2019, libalik. Measles, kibaw ka unsa nakakaraan ng vaccine? 50 anyos na na. But measles are still around. Ug ang German measles, nagyapon. So, mo-aspire ta nga ma-zero ning COVID. Na zero ba daing flu? Awa naman daing flu, daing COVID naman. Pero, na-eradicate ba na to? Na ba flu vaccine? Kada tuig ra ba ka, magpa-vaccinate ka. Pero nawa ang flu? Kaniad to, kung hilantan ko, ma-flu ko ba? Di ko ganaham kaon. Pait ka ayos ba, di ba? Pero karon, hilantan ka, loss of taste, COVID na. Mao na nay kahibulungan kayo. Pero lisod ba? Ang kadaghanan sa mga tao dili in town makapadayag sa ila mismo pong mga pangutana. Kay sila mismo mo'y nag-antos, naglisod na ilang mga trabaho, pero interview daw mo, pangutana mo, man on the street. Wa man sila ni nga facility nga mo live. Muna, I know unsa ilang mga pangutana, unsa ilang mga hinanakit because mutuyok man kus probinsya, maminaw man ko nila. So ako, I'll express this. But I do not reach decisions out of just reading Facebook or looking for excellent sound bites para maka-headline ko or following what I seem to see as the popular route so I can gain pogi points. No. Always, I take my responsibility very seriously that I am responsible for 3,200,000 Filipinos, Cebuanos. And that is why I check my figures. I analyze my data. And when I speak and I establish policy, that is backed up by data, by clear figures. Dili nga mo release lang dahil tag statement aron tukbon sa mga networks mas taring na pagkunuhay ka din ha. But by the way, I don't care. Di man ko, it's not nga ganahan ko mo makita ng mga networks diha kay ito kong dagag senador. Nay gusto. Sa dili madawat. Ako ay bahala. Sibur ko kutob. Mo na kamo muna diha nga sana going for senator. Stop it. Sibur ako. Muna, sutiin na inyo mga networks. Wag ko interest nga mo staring ko. They want to get, I'd rather deal with you. Kaya makadiretso mong pangutana. I don't care. My face doesn't land in their TV stations.
Would you, just a summary of what you mean by Cebu is moving forward?
Kapuyan ni Mugday. Kulit mo talaga, deal. Well, you know, I think we were the very first local government unit, or province for that matter, that reopened tourism way back August. I issued that executive order way back, but that executive order was the product of so many meetings and so many hours of discussion with the DOT, with the DTI, with the Department of Health, with the Coast Guard, with all pertinent and relevant agencies, the PNP, the LGUs, because that was our signal. By August, sukat ta ng ECQ atong March, April, May, June, July, August. Kada adlaw, I read the data. And upon analysis, what we knew then atong Marso was certainly not anymore what we have seen months later. Sa March, we were facing an unseen and unknown enemy. What we knew was, ato lang nahibawaan ba is COVID, ang images gipada nga rin, ikasuhan China. Naitaw naglakaw, dan, nya mukurog, mukirig na lagkalit, tumba, patay. Now I ask you, and I asked this question kanina, sa tibuok nga panahon, nga nagsigit ang ihap, kung pilay positive na to, abot na magkag 500,000, naabay usa, nga naglakaw dan, nga nikirig niya namatay sa COVID? Wa. So you start asking, di ka itong nikirig, gipatol? Pagkapatol, natumba, nabuna lang o? Parihara man na sa na-aksidentes motor sa kuan. Carmen, nabuna lang o? Patay na pag-abot sa ospital, pero giswab gihapon. Unya, giingnan, COVID na lang ni, kaya di na kubera na, o di na COVID, aksidentes motor. So, di naman tingali makatarunganon nga we are still acting as though we don't know anything about this disease. What we know is, it has a very high recovery rate in spite of the fact that karon pa lang nangabot ang vaccines, wa pa manggali na ing FDA approval. Taas kay tag recovery rate, mubo kaayo ang mortality rate, og niintra ang mga interests nga nakapahibong kaayo. Dunay quote nga akong nabasa kagabi, dili ni ako. Pero in one, I think that was Al Jazeera or one of these international networks na inisulti. We are not only facing a health crisis and an economic crisis, we are also facing a corruption crisis. Like it or not. And I'll say this. Huhungihong lang me. Nobody will dare. Like it or not, ang uban, doon nagyo ilang agenda. Doon nagyo ilang kaugalingon na agenda ani. Ang ako rin agenda, ang katauhan raman. Pero ang uban, incentivized. Ang pagpadaghan o pagpapanik bahit sa COVID. You want specifics? I can give you, pero ay na lang usa. Controversial na kaayo. Ako na ibawan na naidaghang bagong sakyanan. Oh. Daghan na mga bagong sakyanan. At tubo sa ka-ospital ay nagparking dito, puros bagong sakyanan. Namalit lang tingay kay basig barato ba? COVID. COVID ang presyo.
COVID sale.
COVID sale.
But let me just say, murag, di naman logical. I mean, if unta, ang imong decision dili pa lang colored by other interests, klaro mong yun ba? Tanawon sa nimo, unsa may nakaayos mga tao, tun-an nimo. Tanawon nimo sitwasyon. Nga, decider ka, pero get your figures right. I have my figures right. Kamo. Magaitin mo kibaw nga is 45,892 ang bagong positive cases, of which Cebu province is 767.
Okay. More questions?
Now, this is not to say nga walay increase. Tinuod man, ang increase man, that's a nationwide total. Why? Some say, kay daghan mo mga gathering, that's one theory. Pero if you would study history, it is precisely during these rainy season times that kung mubalik ta sa pre-COVID, we would register the highest number of flu cases. Daghay pang sipunon, daghay hilantan, daghay pang ubhon kay nagsigig uwan. Pero kaniadto sipon ra na. Ubo ra na. Hilanat ra na. Karon wa na na. COVID na tanan. Pero inig kay ni saka man ka ang cases. Butangig context sa pagsaka sa tibuok Pilipinas sa number of positive cases, pila man ang porsyento nga na-contribute sa Cebu province. Pila may porsyento sa ubang mga lugar. Unya, pila may population. Ikumparar. Anaon na ito analyze. Kay certainly, kumuabot na naglibo-libo sa usa ka lugar nga 300,000 ra imong population, that's cause for concern. Kung mas taas na hinuon, sama sa Baguio City, ang ilang positives, nga 300,000 ra ilang population, as compared to the province, hapit mo doble ang ilang positives dito. Baguio City is 1,115. Kita, 700. Nya 3.2 million ta. Haon na tong per capita. Mo na yung atong pagkuan, ang seriousness of the whole thing. Mo na yung atong pag-compute. Kung napura ka buktaw, ang 5 gihilantan, mas kuyaw na, kaysa 5 nga gihilantan, unya usagat ro sa kabuktaw. Diba? Simple. That's so sense. Common sense. Kung usay gikurikong, unya tulo ra mo kabuo. Mas kuyaw na. Kaysa dunay usay gikurikong, unya 300 mo kabuo. Di ba? Umuntuan ang hilantan na lang. Kurikong. Naapabiya na. Nya kiba mo kaning measles, kanang polio, they are just as infectious, ha? Kanang polio, I read up on it. It's either ma-infected ka if you're exposed to the feces of one who is infected, or you're exposed to someone who is infected nga mo atsing. Pero, nang lockdown ba ta? Tungod sa polio, nga ni kalit ba nag-surge pagbalik? Wow! So, di naman ni makatarungan nun. Doesn't make sense. Kamo, media, I would hope that you would also realize this. Analyze, Haragod. Ganun ka naman. I challenge you. The same way I challenge the OH. Kuha asad ang totals sa uban mga sakit. Dili nga mo feature lang ta, nag-vaccination program. Let's delve deeper. Ganun nagsige pa man tag-vaccinate anang measles. Kay naa pa di ay? Naa pa di nang sakita? Ikaw, gimeasles ka din, no? Sa una. Ako gani, gimeasles ang ko. Yeah, you would think with the vaccine having been around for 50 years, wala na yun na. O nagsige pa malagi tag-vaccinate. Pauna to ang total, i-appeal ko dito sa ihap. Kay gimeasles man ko atong naapo ko sa elementary. I-appeal ko sa ihap, ha? I-appeal na to. Kay kanigi pang appeal man sukad from the beginning. O di from the beginning putas uban mga sakit. Oh, question.
Related lang ang issue of kanang sa vaccine. You said nga, like, you went around the province. Ano sa'yo bang nakita ka sentiment sa mga tao on the vaccine?
I haven't really gone out of my way to ask. Kay, I do not want to create unnecessary flurry nga, oh, ganang kag-vaccine, bili. Please. Anyway, ang national government clearly defined na kinsa ang mga priorities, di ba? Na ay Group A, Group B, na ay number 1, number 2, number 3. Let's trust national government on that. Ang ako lang commitment nga mo support kita. Pag-roll out ani, kung kinahanglanon ang DOH o direct contact with our municipalities and our towns, with the full support of our Provincial Health Office, we will be working with the Department of Health nga ma-roll out gini sa Cebu.
Okay.
Okay.
Sige.
Thank you, Go.
Question pa?
Oh,
Extra?
Ay, this one.
ASF din.
So, ini update sa ganina ang say naisgutan nato gud di pagawas na kag EO regarding sa regulation sa mga trucks nga mag-carry sa mga live hogs and
You know, nag-una ba yan ng ASF kaysa COVID? And during that time, I already saw how dangerous ASF was. We had data already. Nga maski pa, muagi lang ng truck, unya, namilit na ditong fomites dito, mahimo to nga maka-infect any backyard or dagko nga farms. So, we instituted very, very strict measures already. Una na to ban ang Luzon, unya, isunod na to ang Mindanao, unya, isunod na tong Region 8. Over and above objections. And it shows nga it has paid off. Kay karon ang Luzon, wa na, guba na ilang hog industry dito. It's starting already in Region 8. Nga rin sa Buyog, Leyte. And, nga rin sa Mindanao. So, we have been instituting further measures. Muna, kato na lang accredited nga mga truckers ang allowed. And, gikan na sa Cebu. Dili na pwede nga gikan sa Region 8. Kaduha, ang tanan trucks upon arrival will be disinfected. Unya, kinanglan i-quarantina usa for 7 days. Now, kaganina, kay nakita na to, niya naman ang malit o baboy nga rin sa Cebu. Ang mga taga Luzon. Niya ra ba, mag-insiste sila, kinanglan tagaan yun na to baboy. Maayo nila, no? Sa panahon nga dapat unta sila nadto ning kamot pod o proteher sa ilang kaugalingong baboy, wa. Karon nga nangahurot, kita na hinuoy ibutang sa lugar nga kita na mawad ang baboy. So ni akong gi-meeting ang sibip ko, ingon ko, katong inyong gi-supply unsa man to, siya excess to namo. Kay lagi po during the lockdown, wa man gid sila halin. So, ang baboy ni nga ilang gibutang sa ilang freezers tanan mo na ilang kuan supply. Pero ingon na sila, pero karon pupila naman as of January ang total demand on the market 4,400 total demand. Kuan 4,400 per month metric tons ni. Ang masupply nila, ang sibip ko lang, 17 members is 2,750 metric tons. Ang balanse ana is supposed to be supplied by our backyard. Para wa tay assurance ana, dili man ni-organize atong backyard. Ug mao toy unahon og target sa mga pumapalit ang backyard. Kay karon na po in town, kasuway po sila taas-taas na presyo. May na lang na nila. So, ningon ko, whether we like it or not, mag-shortage na kita. Kung magpadayon kamo, wa na mo excess nga ihatag. So, ari na mo sa 2,750 para sa Cebu, unta. Nga mo na inyong ihatag. Unya, kani atong backyard, di ra ba na, 1,000 kapin man ta na ang ilang production. Pero there's no assurance nga sa Cebu na ihatag. So, they committed, effective February 1st, I will sign an EO, ana. The transport outside of Cebu of live hogs will be prohibited. Di na pwede. Live hogs out of Cebu. Kaduha, the transport of sows, anay, outside of Cebu, di na sad pwede. Atong i-preserve dire, atong ipabilin dire ang mga anay, aron andi nga ni mga nak, dili nga paliton, dadon dito, kuha nga na puta. Nag-uul ka sa anay? Ikatulo, naman tayo mga duha ka accredited nga breeding farms. Ang breeders allowed na nga ilang i-transport ang sa accredited. Pero, because I am seeing that this is an evolving situation, kaning atong uban nga mga farms, seeing nga it is now a seller's market. Ang demand far outshoots the supply. They might now be expanding. So, akong giingnan nga i-prioritize ninyo para sa mga farms nga mo expand o production ang inyong mga breeders. So, that will all be effective February 1st. I-allow na to ang slaughter sa anay kung unproductive na. Sa bagay, wa man say magpa-slaughter sa anay kung sige pa nagpanganak. Pero di na ka manganak, kuyaw kang ihawon. So mo na atong kuan. May tabuan wa nay manggawas nga mga trucks nga magkarga og live hogs.
So both kuan lang. Pasulod.
Pasulod wa naman. Ang pagpagawas wa na sad. But I will only temporary niya 6 months usa. Kaya nga ato manggod, we are seeing the possible na and it's very real shortage of pork in the market. Unsa may net result ani karon mahal na gani. Prices will skyrocket. Grabe na gid kaayo ka mahal. Worse, nga wa na niya kita na hinuway supply. So, niyo ko temporary usa ni 6 months until mo stabilize ang market. So that will be from February, March, April, May, June, July.
How about the byproducts?
Pwede man kag pork i-export nimo. Nga kato ng meat. Processed, pero dili pwede ang live.
Okay, more questions?
Ako, mas nahadlo ko sa ASF between COVID and with what we know about COVID and ASF, mas nahadlo ko ana. Okay, though they keep saying it's not harmful to humans, wa pa minang ko'y nakitaan nga tao nga nikaon o meat sa usa ka namatay nga baboy tungod sa COVID. Daghan naman kayo ng mga kagid-kagid, anak, manggawas. So, mayon lang not harmful, but kanang fomites ba? Mga bakterya, anak, mamilit-pilit ra na. Unya, maka-hibernate pa yun, maski patugnaw. It just sleeps, mo-hibernate ra. Mura ma-reactivate. Nya lisod kay pagpatay, you need 100 degrees centigrade heat. Patay, anak. Ang COVID, di makakinahanglan pa bukalan, aron ka ma-recover. Di makapabukalan, pero kung wa kay symptoms, unya kinahanglan gyud ka mapasite basi pabukalan ka.
Okay. Ikaw.
Sa unsa ka gali? Grappler?
Dili ikaw.
Sa Manila Bulletin.
Manila Bulletin. Si Calvin.
Kaya, si Mars. Otto.
Si Lorraine ang Rappler.
Grappler.
Okay. Extra.
Do your analysis, kamo pod. O na, dito malubag aning Manila Media. Kung namoy pangutana ka mo diretso. Apoy kayo, sige, panubag. Murag yung naibaw sa sitwasyon na to diri. Pero tungod lang kay si Lachon mo initingog. Kana. Doy Lachon, ho man ni una o saba. Off ha, of the record. I was a congresswoman then.